Hello everyone, it's Gojira Prime with another Transformers video, and today I want to go over a few of the images that have been revealed at London Comic Con in regard to the Studio Series line. Although it's not a line I particularly collect myself, aside from the Dinobots and G1 characters, I thought I'd go through the images and give my 2 cents on them. But first, as always, I do have a Facebook page, Gojira Prime, where I do post links to any articles I find of interest, but mostly it's for images of my own toy collections, be they Transformers, Masters of the Universe, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So if you do find the time, please do find the page, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and do please take the time to comment on anything I do post there. So, straight over to cybertron.com, and this article is official images of SS Triple Changer Megatron, Rise of the Beast, Scorponok, Wheeljack, and more. So they've got a few comparison images here of Megatron, the Starscream figure, and a couple of other bits and pieces. We'll start off with the Starscream figure. As I said in my previous video, I was not impressed with the Starscream figure. You can see an image of it here with its 2012 counterpart. And I have to admit, the 2012 counterpart looks a hell of a lot better in every conceivable way. It looks more detailed, more proportioned, better. The colors look better. The cockpit section looks a hell of a lot better. It just looks a much, much better figure. You can see an image of the two figures there on the back. The 2012, I think, was a deluxe class figure, if I remember correctly, and there from the front. The 2012 figure looks vastly superior. At least in my opinion, it does anyway. I don't know what Hasbro were thinking when they were designing this thing, but yeah, they should have just done an enlarged version of the 2012 toy this time round. I mean, you've got a couple of images here of the game model and the toy model. I don't know what Hasbro were thinking. I mean, that chest section looks completely different to what there was. So I don't know what Hasbro were thinking in regard to this one. But yeah, the 2012 version is definitely superior. But onto the figure I think most people are probably more interested in is this guy, the Bumblebee concept Megatron figure. We got some images of this one last week. I think this figure looks amazing. I think this concept for Megatron looks amazing. It looks really, really good. I do have some issues. This jet mode, which you can see here, which is the second image, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. The tank mode seems okay. It seems more like an artillery piece than a tank, in all fairness, but the tank mode looks okay. The jet mode, as always, is a questionable item. I think probably sacrifices were made somehow in probably getting these two alternate modes out of this figure. I think it really would have been better if they just stuck with a tank mode and put more effort into that one, personally, but that's just my opinion. Then you've got some concept images here of the Megatron figure. The tank mode and jet mode are totally different. I actually prefer these concept modes, if I'm brutally honest, but hey, we've got what we've got at the end of the day. And I think, in all fairness, most people who do collect the Megatron figure, or who do get it, will be keeping it pretty much in robot mode most of the time. At least I would be if it was me. And then you've got a few more concept images of the figure itself. Looks very, very nice in the concept images, to say the least. And there you've got a comparison with SS-38 Bumblebee. Now, I think in my previous video when I mentioned this figure, they did another concept image of this figure, but Prime was much smaller I don't know a lot about the Studio Series 38 model. If that was a leader class figure or a very big Voyager. I should have found that out really before the video, but never mind. And then you just got more images of the concept phase, how they worked it. And then we've got some toy packaging shots as well. Again, I think this figure looks brilliant in robot mode. I think it's one of the best looking Megatrons we've had in a very, very long time. My best looking Megatron figure that I have, in my opinion, is my Selects Super Megatron from the Japanese continuity. This, I think, is probably going to be my second favorite Megatron figure. I think it just looks brilliant. I really, really do. So you can see the back of the box there, Megatron again. I think the fusion cannon could maybe have been a bit larger, personally. Again, that jet mode, really not very sure about that jet mode. Tank mode seems okay, much better than the jet anyway. It converts in 39 and 32 steps. And there we have a much cleaner image of the actual figure itself. Again, I think the front end of that fusion cannon could have been larger, but you know, never mind. I think the figure in general looks bloody awesome. I really, really do. I may actually get this figure just because it looks so good. But yeah, I hope maybe one day we get to see this guy on the big screen. A closer image of the tank. Yeah, the tank mode looks okay. It looks good for what it is. I think it does look more like an artillery piece myself, but there you go. And then, of course, we have an image of Wheeljack, Studio Series Wheeljack, or Pablo, as I like to call him because of what's on his side. This character really did divide opinion in regard to his appearances, but he was in the film so little in the end, it was ridiculous. Again, I'm not a collector of Studio Series, but it's a nice looking figure. The vehicle mode's very good, I think. Volkswagen campervan style. It's a pretty, you know, it's a damn good representation of what the character looked like in the film, even if you're not a fan of the design. And then we have Scorponok. You know, these are the army of Unicron in the film. Again, it looks a very nice figure. It's not one I'll probably get ultimately in the end, because like I say, I don't collect Studio Series figures. But we never saw the robot mode in the film. We just saw the Scorpion mode, and there are a lot of them. Now, this is one I hadn't expected, which was Rumble. Concept art Rumble, and they've done him in blue colors instead of the traditional black and red. Looks very G1-ish in regard to his appearance. It's a nice little figure. And then we've got Decepticon Mohawk from oh god, what was the film he was in? The Last Night, sorry. I never saw that film, never will see it, because it just looks it looks like a terrible film in all fairness. And that's Mohawk there. And then some more images of the Starscream figure. Again, disappointed with that figure in many ways. So yeah, that's a look at the images. Starscream, still very disappointed with. The other Studio Series figures look really, really good. Rumble looks quite nice, actually. Wheeljack, Scorponok, they look very, very good. But ultimately, I think everyone's going to be raving about this guy, about Megatron. He looks really, really cool. Really, really nice robot mode. Good tank mode. Not so sure about that jet mode. But all in all, I think it's going to be a massive hit. And this is going to be one that is going to sell out very, very quickly. So if you've taken the time to watch the video, thank you very much indeed. Have a very nice day. And once again, thank you very much.